So today we're going to conclude the laws of Kriat Shema and the beginning of prayer, and then tomorrow we'll start with the Amida. So the first part is about wearing the Tefillin during Kriat Shema while reciting the Shema, and the second part is what happens if you don't. So it is a rabbinic obligation to recite Kriat Shema at Shacharit with Tefillin, as written in the paragraph of the Shema, and you shall bind them as a sign on your arm, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. The Hebrew word is totafot, and really there's different explanations for that. So Rashi quotes the Gemara in Sanhedrin, saying that the totafot is actually two languages that I don't know, I've never confirmed it with my friend who knows so many languages, but Rashi says that tet or tat is two in Katfi, and pat is two in Afrikaans. So I do know the term tat from different places, and also during the Vietnam War there was a gigantic attack during the tat celebration. So I'm not sure if it's related, but Rashi says that these are words that are not actual Hebrew, and so it's basically to say that we have to have four compartments in the tefillin. So that the difference is, and this is not, we aren't learning the laws of tefillin, but the difference is that in the ones for the arm, all four parshas are written on one tiny scroll, one following the other, and in the head one, it's actually divided into four compartments, so each one of the little paragraphs is written on a tiny scroll in a separate compartment. And what is the purpose of this? He quotes the other verse from the second paragraph of the Shema. Similarly, it is written in the paragraph of Vayayim Shema, bind them as a sign on your arm and let them be as frontlets between your eyes, which is Deuteronomy 11:18. Thus, it is not proper to read these verses without tefillin. So the Chachamim teach, whoever recites Kriat Shema without tefillin, it is as if he testifies falsely about himself. So it would be like saying, I believe in the Bible, but I'm not willing to swear on the Bible. That's the comparison. But Chachamim couldn't have said this as an overall teaching, because every Shabbat, every Chol HaMoed, every Jewish holiday, we don't put on tefillin, and we do say the Shema. So obviously, they're two separate commandments, and we can't accuse somebody of not fulfilling this. Also, something that he does not mention here, as far as I know, is somebody who has a problem with their stomach and they have to run to the bathroom. They should not put on tefillin, because you're not allowed to wear tefillin and pray in a place that there's a bad smell. So, and I've seen many rabbis who just couldn't control their bowels, but they still came to this whole service and just left 2 or 3 times during the service to go to the bathroom. In any case, even one who does not have tefillin must recite Kriat Shema, since tefillin and Shema are two separate mitzvot that do not prevent one another from being fulfilled. If he does not have the privilege to perform the mitzvah of tefillin, he must at least fulfill the mitzvah of Kriat Shema, of reciting the Shema, and he is not considered one who gives false testimony, since he is in circumstances beyond his control. So again, it might be that his tefillin are in the, being checked by the sofer. Sometimes they give you a replacement set, sometimes not, and all kinds of other circumstances. Somebody recently moved here to Fredericton, and I'm wondering if they remembered to bring their tefillin from Ontario, because I've never seen them wear the tefillin, and I know that he got one from his bar mitzvah. So it is appropriate to pray the Amidah of Shachar with tefillin as well. That is part of the complete acceptance of the yoke of heaven. Regarding a person without a tefillin, whose friend can give him his pair to put on after he finishes praying, the Achronim are uncertain what is best course to follow. Is it preferable for him to pray in a minyan without tefillin and then put on tefillin afterwards, or should he pray with tefillin individually after the minyan? The opinions of most poskim is that the practice is best to pray with tefillin individually. However, one who wants to pray in a minyan without tefillin and then put them on afterwards is permitted to do so. There's also a joke about all the dormitories that Tisha B'Av is just like being in a dormitory. You wake up in the morning very, very late. It's already too late to say the morning prayers, and you come with flip-flops to mincha, and then you wear your tefillin, because that's what we do on Tisha B'Av. So, as much as it's a joke, obviously the tefillin are separate from the law of Shema. Likewise, it is proper to put on one's tzitzit before prayer, because the third paragraph of Kriat Shema discusses the mitzvah of tzitzit, the fringes, and it is appropriate to recite it while actually fulfilling the mitzvah of tzitzit. The mitzvah of tzitzit only for what's called Tallit Katan, and the small prayer shawl that we wear under our shirt, only started during the time of the Ari in the 16th century in Safed. And like we said yesterday, if there's no contradiction between Kabbalah and law that may follow it, and so it's very appropriate to wear tzitzit again as well. It is also customary to hold the tzitziot and kiss them a number of times when reciting Kriat Shema. See further in this book in chapter 15, section, paragraph 11. Even though the mitzvah of tzitzit can be fulfilled by wearing a talit katan, tzitzit is also customary to put on a talit gadol, the prayer shawl, in honor of the Shachrit prayer. However, before marriage, most Ashkenazim suffice with wearing a talit katan. Only after they marry do they begin to wear a talit gadol for Shachrit. And by the way, the reason for that interesting Ashkenazi custom is because in Deuteronomy, in Parashat Gitetze, when it talks about there's 73 or 74 commandments all in one parsha, it doesn't look like there's any connection between some of them, but the law of wearing a talit with the fringes follows immediately after Ki Kach Ishisha, after the paragraph that talks about marriage between a man and a woman. So the rabbi said that you should make the tzitzit of the prayer shawl only after you're married. Again, we don't have proof for it. It's just that juxtaposition that gives that idea. And we will conclude with laws pertaining to tzitzit and tefillin for Shachrit. Just to recap, there's many people who come to shul either without their tefillin or their tefillin aren't good or whatever. So most people, if they know them, they'll finish the Amida, the silent Amida, and then take off their tefillin and offer it to their friends. So that's a very practical thing that I've seen many, many times in my life, and that's the right way. But then the person has to repeat the Shema while putting on his friend's tefillin, because that was the whole reason why we do this kind of sharing. So the person's talit is put on before his tefillin, for tefillin are holier than tzitzit, and it is proper to rise gradually in the levels of sanctity. And the other reason is that we wear talit every day, but we only put tefillin on a weekday, not on Shabbat and Yom Tov. So it's what's called tadir v'shenot tadir, where it's more common as opposed to less common. In addition to the regular kavanah that one must have at the time that he performs any mitzvah, which is the intention to fulfill mitzvah of Hashem, we learn in the Torah that the mitzvah of tzitzit is to remind us of all Hashem's commandments so that we may fulfill them. By performing the mitzvah of tefillin, we are reminded to enslave our hearts and minds to the service of Hashem. So the one of the arm is closer to the heart. For most people, if they are righties, we put it on our left arm, which is closer to the heart, and the one of the head is our mind. And to remember his oneness and the exodus from Egypt. These kavanot are printed in the Sidurim, and although there is no obligation to say them, it is at least necessary to think them and to know what they're about. Those who want to enhance the mitzvah put on their talit and tefillin at home and come to synagogue adorned in them. I don't know how practical that is in North America. Even if this prevents them from being one of the first 10 people to arrive, it is still preferable to put on one's tefillin at home and come to synagogue wearing them. And last but not least, because of the sanctity of tefillin, it is forbidden to let one's mind wander from them the whole time that he is wearing them. Therefore, one must touch his tefillin frequently. So besides during Kriat Shema, which we touch our hand and head tefillin, and there's also a custom to do it the twice that we say Ashrei in the morning. So when we say Poteach et Yadecha, that Hashem opens His hands to all people, that's when we touch the tefillin sheyad of the arm, and almost even though it doesn't specifically mention the head, that's when we touch the tefillin of the head. And today the services are much shorter than they used to be. So 3 times during the service to touch the tefillin is not too much, and that way you're not distracted and you can keep the mitzvah properly. We'll stop here. Any questions?